everybody, so our next video for demonstration is a duck dish. So it's a really good dish for level 3s, especially because duck is part of their criteria in the NVQ. And with it I'm going to demonstrate a potato dish which I'm going to hand slice. So it's another possible suggestion for level 2s for their final assessment, because if you remember, they've got to do a hand sliced potato dish. Okay, the dish itself is duck breast, and I'm going to serve it with sauerkraut or schukrut, depends which country you're from, which is a soured cabbage. I'm going to serve that with Anna potatoes and some salsify. So on the table in front of me I've got the ingredients, and there's enough here for two portions. Okay, so maybe probably slightly more with the amount of duck that I've got, but I've just got some extra there just in case I need it. But we'd have one duck breast usually when we're cooking this. In front of me as well I've got a quarter of a cabbage, white cabbage, must be white cabbage, that I've sliced into chiffonade really thinly. You can see how fine that is. I've also got some coarse grain mustard, must be coarse grain mustard, whole grain. I've got some white wine vinegar, some apple cider vinegar, quite a bit of butter there. There's probably about 25, maybe 50 grams of butter even. Brunoise of celeriac, swede, carrot. I've got one whole potato, and this here is the salsify that I was talking about. It's a root vegetable, and you don't see it very often, but the thing with salsify is once we peel it, we need to get it into an acidulated water mixture straight away, so lemon and water, or else it discolours. And all I've done with that is peeled it, cut it into lengths, and then I've put it into a backpack bag with some sliced lemon, garlic, a little bit of olive oil, and I've steamed it for about 20 minutes so it's become al dente. So the first thing I'm going to do is trim the duck breast. I want to get this raw ingredient out of the way first, and then it's high risk. I can get it away in the fridge and start with the prep for the rest of the stuff. So you'll notice I've got it on this blue piece of towel. When it comes from the fridge out of the bag, it has lots of juices all over it, and I don't want those on there because they're going to spit when I put them into the pan, and they'll make an absolute mess. So I'm drying it out on the paper towel. Once you're finished with the paper towel, once you've got most of the moisture off the skin and off the flesh and it's become really dry, then we can start to trim some of this skin and fat and sinew away. Okay, you'll be able to see this piece of sinew here, that's definitely needed to come out. So we pop our knife underneath that and just take it out in hopefully one or two little swoops without taking too much of the meat away. So just knife under, just trim it away. If we don't remove that, it's going to shrivel up and our duck will become a little bit tough. And then we've got these other pieces down the side. Now this is fat, there's lots and lots of fat, and we keep that because we might render that down for some duck fat which we could use to cook. So last week we did a guinea fowl leg confit in duck fat, so we could use that for rendering down for the duck fat, and we're just trimming it down and making it look as neat as possible. And then there's this really white piece under here as well. Again, we're going to just take that out just with the tip of our knife, just to make sure that that comes out, because that again, it's going to shrivel up, it's going to make our dish a little bit tough, and it needs to come out. We don't want that in at all. Okay, so we want as little fat on the inside as we possibly can, because on the outside of a duck breast there's lots and lots of fat and it needs to be removed. So then we're left with this skin on the outside. I'm going to make sure that it's all in a nice neat fashion, so trimming down the outside, you can see that I'm leaving the fat on this side of the board and anything that I'm going to discard on this side as well. And then we're going to score the skin. This is going to help the fat come through out of the skin, and it's going to just help to cook it as well. So using a really nice sharp knife, I'm just going to cut into the skin in sort of a crisscross formation, or it will be eventually, so that I'm just going through the fat, and then same the other way, so it's just crisscrossing, nice and neat. And then that's ready for seasoning. So I'm going to season it really well with some salt and black pepper on this side, and then that's ready to cook. Okay, so then we come to the seasoning of the duck. Really good amount of sea salt, and as usual, nice bit of black pepper on there as well. We want as much flavour to come out of that duck as we possibly can, and that's just ready to cook.